system for Cairn University. You can log in with your username or your email address and your system password. So once you log into e-learning, on the top left here you'll see this little icon next to the logo, and this is where you can control this panel on the left. If you want to see the panel all the time, you click on it and it will display similar to this. And if you want to hide this panel, you can just simply click on that same icon again and it will park it on the left. The same functionality is still available, but just a more real estate for you to do your work. The other thing here on the right hand side, we also have these blocks, and this can be controlled from this icon right here. So I'm going to leave this currently enabled, as well as the panel on the left. Now the dashboard can be customized further to your liking. And typically by default you're going to see the course overview, and this is filtering or giving you a list of all the courses that you have access in e-learning. This would mean the prior courses from prior years plus any future courses and the current ones. And if you scroll down here you'll see many of them depending on what you have access. Additionally, further down here you have this recently accessed courses, and this is a listing of the courses that you have accessed just recently, just like the word says recently there. Now, you can control what displays here on the front page by clicking on the drop down here under all, and you could say I want only those in progress. At this point also it's important to note that the courses in progress, or what shows up under in progress, it's basically related to the start and end date for the course. So, and that is typically controlled by going, if I go here to the actual course, click on the gear icon, I choose edit settings, and then under the dates right here for the start date and the end date, it has to be, so today's date, or what you need there is for these dates to be in the future. So basically this will expire in June, or it will be ending up in June 2019, and after that it will be listed under past courses. So if it shows in the past courses but you want it to still be listed in the current courses, you need to change the dates on the course itself, the start and end date. Keep in mind that when you do this though, it's going to change it for your students as well. So now let's go back to the dashboard. You can change it here to in progress. And notice for specific courses here, you also have these three dots next to the title of the course. That means that you can put a star to specific courses that you want, or you can hide specific courses as well from your view. Now, if you hide something, you're not going to be able to see it under the courses in progress. So in that case, to view hidden courses, then you have to go here under in progress and then choose to show hidden courses, and then that specific one that we just hid is going to be listed in there. Or if you choose all courses, then it will be listed again under all the courses, and it will show up in there. And if I choose hidden here and I want to unhide it, just go back to these three dots and choose to show the course, and then that will be listed under the in progress courses. So that's basically the filtering here, that you can control what you want to see, whether you want to see the past courses, the future courses, or the current courses and such. Now, if you put a star to many of the courses that you want, then you can also change the filter so you can see only those courses that you have put the stars on, or you can have marked with a star. And that's another way for you to customize the dashboard to list only those courses that you want. Now, if you have access to multiple courses, so if it's more than 12 here, you can change how many you can show up on the front page. So you can change it up to 48. And then once it goes beyond that, you're going to have multiple pages here. It's going to be listed on the right-hand side for multiple pages and such. Now, another thing that you can do to customize the course overview here is also how you want the courses to be sorted. So you could sort them by last accessed, and in that case the most recently accessed courses will be listed first, or you can show them by course name as well. An additional feature here is that the card view, and the card view is basically the view that we currently have here. You have a little picture of that course, you have the title of it, and the percent complete for that course. Now the percent complete, by the way, that is connected to the completion tracking within the course, and it's mostly useful for the students in that course. So for faculty, you probably don't have to worry that much about it. It's like the percentage that you have completed for the activities in that course. Under the card here, you can change the view to just give you a listing of all your courses, and this is a cleaner view in this case. Or you can change this to give you the summary list of the course. So in this case, it will give you the title of the course along with a description for your course. Now the description here, in case you are wondering, you can change that under course settings. If you go to the actual course and you choose edit settings for that course, there's going to be one of the fields in there for course description. So once you set those preferences to what you like and the view that you like, then the dashboard, it will stay the same. Personally, I'll prefer the card view in this case. Now notice also on the right hand side here, under the panels on the right here, or the blocks on the right, you'll also see a new block here, the timeline. The timeline, typically you can choose here how many items to list, but those would be items from the courses that the student is taking and activities that they have to complete. Now those are related or connected with due dates within the activities for them to show up in here. So if you choose to set the due dates within the activities, you must also make sure that they are up to date. However, the students find the due dates and such very helpful because it will show up in here in the timeline for them, and also for you as the faculty, it will show up for you to grade those activities as well. Note you can also control here how to sort it by dates or to sort the timeline by courses as well. When you assign dates to various activities in the course, those dates also will trickle down to the calendar as well. Finally, there is also this option here under recently accessed courses, and again, this just has a listing of courses that most recently accessed. If you prefer to have this higher up here in the dashboard, you can click on Customize this dashboard and then simply go down to that block, which is recently accessed courses, and then you can simply drag this up just like you move activities in the course. Once you drag it up, you can click on Stop Customizing this page, and now the most recently accessed course list, it will be showing up on the top, and then you have this other stuff here right below it. So it's up to you how you choose to customize this to your liking. In this brief session, I'm going to go over the general components of a course in e-learning or in Moodle. And this is the blank shell of a brand new course with no content on it related to that specific course. Again, notice here on the left-hand side, you have the various menus for this particular course. So if you wanted to view the participants in the course, you'll just go right here under Participants and notice the various participants here. You notice you can also filter the participants here based on particular roles. If you want to see just the students or the teachers in that course and such, you can just simply choose the role, and then those will be filtered automatically. To navigate the course, you can use those links right here on the top, and you basically, to go to the course homepage, one of the options is to simply click here on the course name. If the course had multiple sections here, which means multiple one of those topics, they would show up here under the course section. So you'd have topic 1, 2, 3 and such. And once we build it, then we are going to access those modules much simpler as well. Accessing the grades, this is the grade book for the course. And we'll get into the grade book later. And then to see all your courses and other components that we saw also on the dashboard, those will be here on the left. Now we're going to minimize this menu here on the left-hand side by clicking on this icon here to the left of the logo. Also on the right-hand side, we are going to minimize those blocks as well as we can get started with working in the course. Now, typically, each course, each blank shell in the course, it includes 17 topics, assuming that the course will be between 15 and 16 weeks, and you have one extra here. Now here on the top right-hand side, you also have this gear icon. This is where the magic happens for you to get started with the course. So you need to click on this gear icon, and this is where you can change the course settings. So if you go here under course settings, you can modify here. By the way, we do not recommend that you modify on your own the start dates and end dates here, because it messes also with the students. But on your own here, you can put in the description for your course, and that's what will show up on the main course page. So here you can copy and paste this from the syllabus and put it as the course summary. You can even include an image if you prefer by uploading the image in here, and then we suggest that you do not mess with the other settings here and just leave everything else alone and just choose Save and Display. So that's how you can change the course settings. Under the gear icon, you have additional options here for backing up and importing the course and accessing the gradebook setup and course completion and such. But the most important component here is the Turn Editing On. This is the feature or the option that enables you to make changes to your course now that you're starting with it. Now once you click on Turn Editing On, notice that you have all kinds of new buttons that show up everywhere, and that's what we'll go over in the next session. So stay tuned. In the previous session, I covered some of the general components here and the menus on the left and on the top and also on the bottom. But now we're going to get back into the actual components of this actual course and how we can modify it, add activities and such. Now, typically, as you're teaching your course, the idea is that you can post all the resources, whether it is a syllabus, contact information, lecture notes, assignments and assignment details, and quizzes, and anything that you can think of about the course, post it on e-learning here. So now the actual components of the course at the very top here is where you would post your course name and such, and the contact information. Right below it you have announcements, and then those that say topic here, you have topic 1 through 16, those can be modified so they would be like units, or it could be separate weeks, or it could be however you want to divide your course and organize it for the rest of the semester and such. Now here's what a completed course looks like. So at the very top you have here the contact information, how to get started. The instructor also has a video here embedded in the course page. We have the announcements, course orientation. Then we have everything organized by units. So Unit 1 and everything related to Unit 1 is organized in here. Notice it has a starting point, so you have the Unit 1 definition, then the major topic that you're going to cover for that particular unit, and then the dates for that unit, and also directions where to get started next. And then you have a listing of all the activities within this course. And we'll go on how to do this for each individual item as well in just a moment. So these would be various different activities. For example, that's a forum, that's a quiz, and this is an actual assignment and such. Notice also in this case the instructor here has labeled each activity by a number, and those numbers help in identifying issues. Whenever there is an issue, the student can refer it to item 3.1 in the course rather than having to describe it and such. Plus, it tells them how to proceed with the course activities. So the idea in a course in Moodle or in e-learning here is to organize everything in units where all the components are under a specific unit or that specific week, and then all these units are arranged in a sequential order. Now, for the student to access them, obviously they can go here under the section numbers and jump to a specific section as well. So let's get back to our course here, the blank course that we were working on earlier, and let's work on this. So the first thing that we need to do in the course is to make sure that editing is turned on in the course to modify anything in it. If you see all of these different buttons here, or the green pencil and such, and add the new activity and such, then editing has been turned on in the course. If for some reason editing has not been turned on in the course and you don't see those buttons to modify stuff, then you need to click on the gear icon and then click on the Turn Editing On option right here. So in this case, you have those specific topics in here. So you have up to 17. You can name them however you want. Like we mentioned a moment ago, you can call them units and such, and it will show you how to modify those as well. If you need more topics in here, you can add them from down here where it says Add Topics, and you can choose to add, let's say, 3 more or 40 more or whatever you want, and then it's going to add however many you chose. If you want to delete any of those that you think you don't need, you can click on Edit here at the topic level, Edit, and then choose to delete that specific topic. Now, let's learn how to modify the top of the course to give it a title and put your contact information and such. To modify the top of the course here, you can click on the Edit icon for that specific section. So we want to modify this section here, and we click on Edit. If we wanted to modify section 2, then you click on Edit over here and such. So we click on Edit at the top level, click on Edit Section, and then we want to give it a custom name for this section. So we click on Custom, and then we say and whatever the course name is in that case. Then here under Summary, that's where you can put any contact information. Put your email, telephone, and you might also want to include in there directions on how to get started. Notice here you have also these tools, very similar to a word processor, and if you hold the mouse on them, it will show what they do and such. So you can technically format this any way you want. Once you have entered the summary information here, then press Save Changes. And then the information at the top of the course now has been posted. Now this is live for the students for them to access it and such. Now if you needed to modify any of these other areas here, you'd click on, let's say, Topic 1, and we want to modify that to Unit 1 or Week 1, whatever you want. And then hit Enter. Notice if you press Escape or anything else other than Enter, you're going to lose whatever you type in there. So you need to hit Enter. And you can do the same thing for Topic 2, 3, 4, and so on, and rename those. Now to add any components to the course here for each one of those areas or units or blocks, you'll need to click on Add an Activity or a Resource, and these are all the various activities and resources that you can add to this platform and to this page or to this course. And we'll learn about most of those shortly here in the rest of the tutorial. So you'd be basically picking any of those and then clicking on Add, and I'm going to cover those in detail just shortly. So stay tuned for the next session for uploading and posting the syllabus.